Yo, good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.
Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. And you back upside the head with a hot banger boogie. Hey, you guys, this is my first going live and, just trying to do a little health Q&A. I'm all about the health and all about the wealth of our and not just talking about if you're African American, but just talking about people in general. All of us will be hit with some type of health journey or wealth journey in all of our lifetimes, whether we're seeking to um, where we're seeking to just diligently think about our health at all times, or whether we're seeking to think about our finances. Both will be very critical to the health of each of us. And our health is going to be very critical to how well we achieve whatever type of financial aspirations that we have. So before we go ahead and get started, I want to invite all you guys into the chat. Again, this is uh, a health Q&A. So if you guys got any questions or any concerns about health, if you want to talk about anything, now is the time. I have a big database that we work from that will, I can be able to get you some answers on diseases, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, just the common stuff, all the way down to some of the more difficult stuff. If we can get it, if we can pull it up, then we can definitely give you some herb that will help you out. So with that being said, man, I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in to the HerbMan Show. Let me type this in real quick. Just to say thank you. We are still growing. We're going to continue to grow because our heart is in the right place when it comes to healing. And we understand that the different modalities that it takes to be healed. And a lot of times, especially when you're in the naturopathic journey, you have to use different modalities to get to that particular place, to be able to find things even before they're happening is a art within itself. It takes a lot of study, a lot of information to even come up with something like that, to where you're able to even be effective in a preventative phase of medicine, in the preventative phase of health. And that's where we are really trying to galvanize our people, galvanize the youth, is that, yeah, you may have circumvented some stuff. You may have kind of duck and dodged some bullets. But at the end of the day, the accumulation of, toxins and stresses and chemicals and all these different things that we battle every day, they will end up getting you. And so, if at all best, the only thing that I desire for the future of our people is that if at best all we have to do is fight against Father Time. We should not be dying from diseases and issues that we could easily circumvent, all by just making different health choices and different lifestyle choices. It may seem like we have to choose from the things that are being marketed to us, but we got to know that there are other choices out there. There's a big, thing saying that eating healthy is so expensive. Well, uh, if you learn how to garden and grow your own food, that could really, cut into that particular investment. And also, you got to look at it like it is an investment. It may take a few more dollars to get the right thing on your table, but at the same time, you're going to spend that extra money in the hospital or on pills or doing something else alternatively if you don't really focus on your health. You see what I'm saying? So there are a number of health things that are going on in our communities that we can, uh, try to circumvent, um, and we definitely need to try to circumvent them, guys, because I'm telling you, right now we're in a funk when it comes to how susceptible just not functioning the way that they should. And here's the thing, don't allow the trend of what we're going to overwhelm you. You're going to get a lot of people that see an opportunity and say, well, oh, everybody's trying to buy something for immune, and so then let's create some false product that we can market to you immunity. The biggest thing is to eat a proper diet of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Make sure you got the 33% carbs, 33% fats, 33% proteins. Making sure you're eating fruits for snacks. Okay, making sure you're eating your nuts and your seeds, your beans. You just got to have a slew of different things that you can do. You got to be creative with your palate. You can't keep eating hog mog and chitlins. If that's the only thing you're eating all day and all week, it will wreak havoc on you. The same way as eating greens all day and all week will wreak havoc on you. Everybody's gonna have their say with nah, that's never gonna hurt you. And then the media is gonna say it's never gonna hurt you. Again, I think anything in excess will hurt you, period, no matter what it is. And so we got to get our facts and our figures right, because according to the World Health Organization, only 3% of the world's population is healthy, you guys. Only 3% of the world population is healthy. And I actually agree with that because, again, you got to look at what we're eating. And a lot of our respected regions, a lot of our respected locations, we are still having bad diets. We're still kind of living on that modern diet, which is not conducive to our sedentary lives. And so again, think about only 3% of the world population is actually considered healthy, and then we say another 3% are in the hospitals, or they're already visiting the doctors, or have already visited doctors. Okay, and that's who we're going to consider to be the disease. So then what about the remaining 94%? I think I talked about this in another video. People who are just clinging in the middle of the road. What about those people? So at the end of the day, the World Health Organization says that they are sick as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are sick as well because even though they are healthy, they haven't really been to the doctor, they haven't really been to the hospitals, so you really don't know. You see what I'm saying? They just maybe haven't gotten into any kind of critical situation that will be detrimental enough to just classify them as diseased, but they may be sick. You see, because you can get sick on and off and be considered still a sickly person. So they say that a lot of people get affected by the change of the environment. So when it get cold, you get a cold and flu. All right. The season change again. Some people get that summer cold or that spring cold, going back into it. So it's almost like your immunity is like the moon phases, right? It waxes and it wanes, right? And so again, those people will still be considered sick. So these 94% who are healthy, unhealthy are the subject of what we're trying to do here at HerbMan Inc., right? We're trying to get that 94% to be vibrant in their health, but also we're trying to get them to do it by the means of preventative methods. Preventative methods, which is really to have a balanced and happy, healthy, whole lifestyle, okay, that contains whole food products, that contains even the whole full experiences of life. When we're talking about love, all right, when we're talking about motherhood, when we're talking about fatherhood, when we're talking about parenthood, when we're talking about childhood, you want to be able to have the fullness, the wholeness of those experiences, because if not, every time that we have disparities or mishaps, or every time we have hurt in those areas, There are going to be lifelong stresses, lifelong effects on us as a whole. And that's all the way down to your physical health. So you got to get that 94% to believe in the preventative methods to understand that that's the key to vibrant life. You see what I'm saying? That's the key. That's the way that you move forward. See, the ultimate goal on this journey is to achieve the highest degree of health that is attainable to mankind. And that's what we call optimal health, optimal performance, vibrant health. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we're trying to teach in a nutshell here at HerbMan Inc. Is not really to go out and go get health supplementations. Is really to take on the embodiment of the mental aspect of living as long as you possibly can in the midst of all of the chaos. Because the longer that we can hold on to life and the longer that we can be focused on how to hold on to life, we can figure out a lot of the mishaps that we're going through. We can create other avenues that we've done thus far. But if you are of the dying breed and life is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, then you only have so much time to figure out how to circumvent disease and famine and malnutrition that is really plaguing us on the back end of things that we're not seeing coming our way. And so that's why the advent of processed foods and the advent of the cash crop was so lucrative. It was to really try to preserve our real natural resources. But again, it's caused more devastation than what we imagine. Our own inventions to make sure that we don't run out of food may be the very reason why uh, we would die from, fake or processed foods. And just imagine that. Sometimes we can't afford to, you know, try to preserve a whole plant just to give somebody a derivative of that plant when the person actually needs the wholeness of the plant. Well, I don't want to kill the whole plant, so I'm just going to give you the little active ingredient that's in it, and that just may not bode well. It is not boding well, So basically, what you want to try to do is go from a diseased state of thinking, a diseased state of mentality, to a healthy state of thinking. And that's what we're trying to transition our people to, who tune in to the station or to the channel, is how to go from a diseased state of mind and body and spirit to a healthy state of mind, body, and spirit. And trust me, it's going to take those three platforms that you're going to have to infiltrate and transform and mutate in order for you to actually get to the point of where you want to be at. Okay, so you really got to understand that and get that down. So that's a whole nother level of getting you from a disease state to a healthy state. And then the next one is getting you to that optimal health, that vibrant health. Okay. And so that transition, that mutation is definitely important. Let me mute my phone here because it's about to ring. Um, so yeah, guys, so that's what we're trying to do here. Again, we're talking about questions and answers. If you guys got any questions and answers, please let me know. I don't really see anything right now. But again, you should be able to chat in and let me see. Let me see if my chat actually working. If you guys are tuning in, if you can hear me, just let me know. Yeah, if you can hear me, just let me know. But yeah, man. So that's the three levels. That's the process that we're trying to trying to illuminate to our people. Just trying to get them to understand exactly what the process entails. All right, and exactly where we are as a people is we are We are being, it's almost we're content with the fact that one day you're gonna get sick, or the fact that, so it's no longer people really purposely trying to live long. They're just kind of accepting, whatever happens. And so you take on this reckless mindset about yourself. And, when you're looking at your careers, and when you're looking at your children, and when you're looking at even just yourself, it's got to start with self. You got to mean enough to yourself to make these changes. So vibrant health or optimal health is just, it's just the highest degree of health attainable by an individual. Okay, it is the standard of what you really are looking for when you're talking about just being out here and living. Okay, now this optimal health that we're talking about, this vibrancy, this vitality for life, it comes from within, you guys. It's not necessarily external. And that's what we keep talking about. It's really not about health supplementations or pills and all of this. You have to want it from the inside. There's a fortitude that has to be substantiated. There's a spark that has to be reignited. All right. There's a level of love that you have to have for yourself, that you say, hey, when I'm in my best, mentally, spiritually, and physically, then I'm able to perform, I'm able to give, I'm able to serve at a particular level that is unmatched by anybody outside of my body. And when we're all working in that arena, where we have, the absence of disease in our physical, mental, and spiritual and emotional space, then there's nothing that anybody can do. And it's never too late, no matter where you're at, and whoever is listening to this video, it's never too late to start this. Yeah, of course you should have started it when you're, at birth, but it doesn't mean that you can't start it now. The quest for vibrancy, the quest for optimal health can start right now. Right now, you don't have to turn back the clock. You can just start right now. Okay. So if you're 40 years old, if you're 50 years old, and you're just trying to figure out, what can I do? Just start internally. Start transforming things internally. That's where the change will start first. Start doing the research on different herbs and foods and things of that nature that you can do. All right. Start, looking at different exercises and different techniques, and just different people that you can listen to get you on that roadmap to help. And anybody, like I said, this is for everybody and anybody. Anybody could be vibrant and optimal health. So where you're performing, we've never seen ourselves optimally performing our mental capacity. We don't know what that looks like, but look at what we've created just with what we're working with. So just allow your imaginations to go. You see what I'm saying? The optimal health and the lifestyle regimen is beneficial to all of mankind. This is not just on an individual basis, although that's where it needs to start. That's where it must start. It will bode well for all of us to have these things in mind, whether you're male or female, whether you're young or old. And the thing is, why do this? Why try to understand that preventative methods of living? Why should we listen to HerbMan talk about, vibrancy and optimal health? And, why should we listen to him talk about preventative methods of living and preventative lifestyle choices to keep us trying to live long? Because the very fact that it will prolong life. And that's why we say it has to be an internal change, because life is the greatest gift. But there's some of us that don't think that. Okay. And we slowly commit food suicide. You see what I'm saying? Or or alcohol suicide, or drug, suicide, or we just commit these things that will cause a slow death. Whether it be sugar suicide, salt suicide. It doesn't matter what you're calling it, but you got to get that zest for life, that you want to improve your quality of life. If you're 500 pounds, it's still time. If you're 70 years old, it's still time. If you're a type 2 diabetic, it's still time. If you're a 4-stage cancer patient, it's still time. But it has to start from within. And again, what we're trying to get you to is to prolong your life, is to improve that quality of life that will give you the absolute health that will make you look younger and feel better and be brighter and have better eyesight and never have to worry about the doctors and the hospitals and joint pains and osteoporosis and hearing aids and asthma and all of these different things that we're worrying about as a culture on the day in and day out. The millions on top of millions of us that are in these states of disease, when we're talking about our minds, our bodies, and our souls. But there is a way that we can overcome these things and we can succeed. We can live beyond the 75 years on into our 120. I want it to be easy for us to live to 120. And this is my message for the new generation. This is my message for the generation that's coming after me, my son's generation. These is the purpose for these videos, is for them to know that they have to push the envelope further in how they think about agriculture, how they thinking about the quality of the food that they're going to be putting on their own tables, and then some of the rights and some of the laws and then some of the policies that may need to be changed in the future so that they can demand a certain quality in the grocery stores, a certain quality in the work environment, and a certain quality in their society in order to grow their families up to the point of being able to live as long as a human being can possibly live on planet Earth. Okay. And this is all going to be about how we're able to create and be inventive again as a humankind, and how we're able to push the envelope further and to our own selves. And we have to do that. Investment first has to start with our own health and with our own internal understandings, and we have to get out of that disease and about to die, and there's a don't whatever I do, I'm gonna die from something type of mentality, and get back into living as long as we possibly can. Don't you wish to live a disease-free life? Don't you want to prolong life? And so you have to have that mindset that you're ready to move toward that thing. And I'm talking about as a culture. We have to look at that all the way from the Chinese to the Indians to the Africans to everybody who got their hands in health and got their hands in the medical, and got their hands in trying to make sure that their people and their nation of people are healthy or being fed. We have to take on that responsibility and that accountability as a culture of people. You got to do it. So there are going to be stumbling blocks along the way. Okay. But we can't allow those things to stop the movement of a healthy ecosystem. We can't allow anything to stop that. But there are going to be things that are going to come. There are going to be enemies that are going to gang up against us and our health. But there are going to be things that we're going to have to do. And it's going to come in the form of a whole lot of different things. I'm talking about from viruses to microbes to the humans to toxins to your mental capacity to bad habits and to abuse and to our unrealistic approach to medicines to hereditary issues to estrogen dominance in our bodies. I mean, all kinds of stumbling blocks are going to come up against us trying to be a healthy culture, us trying to be the superhumans. Okay. But there are still things that we can do to make sure that we increase our lifespan and that we live better lives. Okay. And there are going to be alternatives available to us to help us along these ways. And there's going to be a lot of the things that we talk about as a naturopathic, the things of bioresonance therapy that can pick up the basically the resonance of your body. That means your tune, right? So everything in your body is making a sound, and bioresonance is able to pick up on the sound of these organs and of these tissues and of these things. And if it's vibrating at a low frequency, right, then that means that there may be some issues there. Those are things that we could utilize for preventative methods. Things like acupuncture and acupressure are going to be also things that we can use. Yoga and Lai Jin back here with my thing here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's my Lai Jin bench right there. So it's going to be stuff like that that we could utilize, to help us. There's going to be our alternative, homeopathic medicine. Traditional African medicine, Ayurveda. You see what I'm saying? The traditional Chinese medicine, even some of the chiropractic things of adjusting your back and realigning it and being able to get that stress and decompress your spinal cord is always going to be effective when you're talking about health. So all these alternative medicines and all these alternative methods, these are your preventative methods, all right? Right along with plants and what they're doing, what we call phytotherapy. You're going to need that. You're going to have to add that in to your regimen moving forward. Okay. So this is what we call the future of medicine. It's no medicine at all. Okay. The future of medicine is no medicine at all. All right. And then so what we have to do is we have to understand all those different methods and then how we're going to incorporate them into our lifestyle, into our regimen. Okay, that when we working, that we find time to relax in a meditative or in yoga or in some type of walking or in some type of acupressure, acupuncture, some type of ligament stressing just for the stress factor, if nothing else, and relieving stress on a more frequent frequency than what we do when we just allocate 2 weeks out of a full year to vacation. You can't relax. And most of us, when we go out on vacation, we still running, ripping, and running. It's really not a relaxation vacation. It's, we're always planning everything on our vacation. So it's more or less like keeping us busy, more or less like work. So you never really finding that time to get that relaxation, to get that decompression. Okay. And that is what is wrong with a lot of the situation. And so that's why we turn to things like these alternative methods. You have to put them into your lifestyle. And when we're dealing with phytotherapy, you have to really know what herbs that could help you and aid you in where you're trying to go. If you're dealing with insomnia, then you may want to be looking at, herbs like valerian and things of that nature, so that it could help you get to where you want to go. It could allow you to relax a little bit, and maybe that relaxation will then help you fall asleep. Okay. So that's how you want to look at herbs, and that's how you want to look at phytotherapy. But at the end of the day, guys, it's just all about taking care of your metabolism. I talk a lot about that, but it really is the key to disease. I know, again, I will say this. I know Dr. Sabi told everybody that it was mucus and acid buildup, and I don't have a problem with that, outside of the fact that I know that in the beginning, everything that we're even doing when we're talking about putting anything in our body is really affecting the metabolism. And, that's the body and the mind as a whole. Okay. Because again, metabolism is a combination of chemical processes that must occur within the body just to maintain life, you guys. That's just it is what it is. Okay. But there are things that we can do, again, to make sure that our metabolism are intact, and those are going to be the foods that you got to research, and those are going to be the herbs that you can research to eat alongside or eat within your food. You don't necessarily have to do this outside of anything that you're doing. Okay. The next one is you got to take care of your organ system. Okay. So metabolism, Then you got to take care of your organ system. You're going to have to do things like detoxing and all that type of stuff to make sure that your organs are working great and that are processing information perfectly, communicating, talking about metabolism, body systems, right? And now you're talking about vital organs. So it gets more specific as you go down, okay? And so these are the things that you want to do when you're looking at what to eat. Again, you're taking care of your metabolism, your body systems, and vital organs, okay? And when you're doing all of that type of day basis, then you're taking yourself from that disease state to that healthy state to that optimal health state. And it just over time, there's nothing anybody could do to stop that from happening for you. You know what I mean? To stop that from happening for you. Peter T, yo, what's going on, man? You say you're addicted to caffeine, mainly coffee. It's bad, but at the same time, not telling that getting enough sleep. I have 1-year-old son that wakes up a lot at night, needs some help, man. Every day and running on empty. So what? So basically, Peter, you're saying that you're addicted to the caffeine, right? So what is it that you're looking for? Something to replace the caffeine, or you looking for a something? Because a lot of times, if you're addicted to caffeine, that's probably mean you're low energy, all right, so to speak. Am I correct, Peter? Just give me a thumbs up if we're talking correctly over there. Okay, okay. So a lot of that, so that low energy, Peter, man, is gonna have a lot to do with your lifestyle. Okay. So again, what we're talking about is lifestyle changes. Because I can give you a supplement, but if you're gonna use it like coffee, it's gonna wear out over time, just like coffee is doing, Peter. So what we really suggest you do is look at some of the components of your lifestyle, especially when you're saying you have a son and you got kids. So it's probably a mixture of you really ripping and running, trying to take care of the kids financially, and then also be a great father to your kid as well. And I don't think it's a problem with that. We got to learn how to be able to do, it's an and thing, not necessarily an or. So it's not all about, taking precedence over this or over that, but it's about a balancing act and understanding what we have on our plate and just try not to give yourself too much, Peter. Because I think that if you could really probably start to prioritize and organize a little bit better your time, and then you're able to find time enough for yourself to get you a breather, some relaxation, some meditation, and some things of that nature, you'll find that with a little rest, it will boost your energy better than a coffee. Is that kind of does that make sense? That rest, a little rest in your day, even if it's an hour nap or 2 hour nap, will boost your energy better than any caffeinated drink that you could drink. So if you could find time to nap, I don't know if that's possible, but if you could find time to nap, if you could find time to just get some rest, it would, that would definitely help you out. You say spot on. I guess that's the honest truth. And then using yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of what we all do. We all do that. We have to compensate for what it is that we're dealing with. And we have different ways that we do those things, whether it be with, a lot of people like smoking weed. Some people like drinking beer. Some people like, having sex every 5 minutes because they just bored with themselves, right? Some people do this and some people do that, but it's all band-aids to mask over what we're dealing with. And a lot of it is just time management. And we all have a lot on our plates, but if we could just see exactly, what it is, because again, man, you remember the future of medicine, Peter, is no medicine at all, my boy. No medicine at all, man. So I hope that helped out. Again, man, go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. I do appreciate that question, Peter. All right, anybody else on here? But yeah, man. So again, guys, that vibrancy, that understanding that it really is going to take that initial step on the internal side first. I think if we can wrap our minds around asking ourselves the question of, can we do all that we can within our own power to heal ourselves? And you'll see that the body will respond and it will say yes. It will say yes, we can do it. It's just going to be about it's a catch 22 because you have to get that time. I find that a lot of people that go to jail, the reason why they can come out and, a lot of people say they're just jail talk, but really, honestly, they get the time. They get the time that nobody else get to have to figure out life. For the most of us, we got to figure it out on the fly. We got to figure it out as we go, man, because this thing is it's a never ending game, bro. You go to sleep in the game and you wake up in this game, and you have to pray that while you sleep that nobody, takes you out for a loss that would be tremendous. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just for all of us. Think about something. You're breathing while you're sleeping, but you have no consciousness of it. So in the very sheer practice of sleeping, we're really being so vulnerable that we don't even understand. All right. And so that's that game we play. And what we want to try to do is just make sure that we can play it to the best of our abilities. And a lot of it is just going to be about time. A lot of us go say, have you worked with any people with the COVID? Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as the COVID is concerned, we that's pretty much all you're working with right now, due to what's going on. But even in that, it's just about, again, building that immune system with the right foods. So we'll basically just letting people know, how to keep your immune system going, keep you some elderberry around, keep you some antibacterial stuff in your medicinal cabinets, some astragalus root, some oil, some eucalyptus, stuff like that around the home for the kids, just to make sure nothing gets into your household. But the reality of it is that, COVID is really just a strong cold and flu that really turns into pneumonia that could really wreak havoc on you and your lungs and all that type of stuff. So the biggest thing that I could tell anybody about COVID, bro, is just really have a strong immune system, because once it get in there, it's really no telling what it's gonna do. You know what I mean? Right now, as far as where it's going, man, you got people having all kind of side effects in all kind of ways. So what I tell people that I deal with the COVID is just try not to get it at all. And that's basically about sanitizing your home and making sure that you sanitizing your home, your clothes when you come in the home, your hands when you're out, making sure that washing your hair frequently, anything that can collect and just stay on the skin or stay on your clothes for any particular amount of time. You just want to make sure you're washing, not just your hands, but your body, your clothes, all of that, your hair, all of that stuff, man. And just try to keep that stuff out of your home, out of your car, off of you. And the same way, just try to keep it out of you. You know what I mean? So astragalus, 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 astragalus. All right. And a lot of this stuff is on our website, but you can go get it from anybody. You need to be drinking oranges. Eating oranges, drinking orange juice. Make sure you get a lot of vitamin C in you, a lot of vitamin D as well. And we know we got to be out in the sun to get that. But just try to stay on that type of stuff. Respect, thank you. You are the best service, not just here on YouTube. People are sleeping on you, Shy. Hey, man, I sure appreciate the love, brother. I definitely appreciate the love, man. I'm just trying to do what I can for the time I have remaining here on earth, bro. It's really just a calling for me. It's more or less a ministry. I was supposed to be a preacher anyway. So what I did was, I just wanted to really heal people, man. And from what I believed in the Bible, they laid on hands of the presbytery. So at the end of the day, I think that that's really indicative of what we are trying to preach here. Is that it's got to be love has to come through touch, and you can't really tell me that you're in healthcare when you're afraid to give me that touch. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we understand that when a body is sick, it's cold. So when you touch somebody that's a sick person or that a near-death individual, you're transferring that heat, and heat could revive, heat can vitalize, revitalize, heat could rejuvenate. And so in essence, brother, heat or energy can heal. And so that's all we're really trying to reveal, bro. But I appreciate everything, man. Hey, go tell somebody about your homie, man. All right. Much love. But yeah, man. So yeah, man, anybody out there, you guys got questions, concerns, again, we got a database here. We can put in whatever kind of diseases you guys got, and we can give you quality herbs to get, whether I got them on my site or whether somebody else got them on their site. It's not about that for us. It's just about you getting the right herb that you need for the right conditions. So again, I'm going to try to do this every Wednesday if I possibly can. Going to be the health Q&A. Again, so go tell somebody about it. That way you guys can come on here and get answers. Get your answers to your health questions for free. You don't have to pay for consultations. There's not a whole lot that I can go into depth with for real critical and personal issues. But, at the basis of things, we're going to be really talking about the mental fortitude, the mental capacity, the mental things that a person got to be willing to do to deal with whatever those issues may be. There is a pathway to healing for any type of you guys' conditions. It's just all about the mental fortitude that you're willing to take on your part. And then I will match that. And I'll match you wits for wits with your mind, with your spirit, and with your body energy. And I'll match that energy with mine. And hopefully the universe can meet us in the middle. And when he says when there are two or three are gathered in that name, bro, then healing will come to you. And so we just try to teach that, man. Speak to yourself internally, give yourself that power, give yourself that fortitude, give yourself the strength to know that life is yours. His life is beautiful. To me, this is heaven. I don't want to die to see heaven. I think that this is heaven. I think that this is beautiful. I think that this is about the most beautiful experience you can possibly experience in life. And it's just about changing that perspective on that. Because once you know that life is beautiful to you, you'll hang on to it and you'll do anything for it. And that's the type of energy you're going to need to really heal yourself, guys. All right. So, hey, man, if you guys don't have any more questions, we're about coming up to that 45-minute mark. I'll go ahead and close it down. But like I said, man, anything that you guys need, I am here. Again, I'm not trying to do anything but help. I love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, love HerbMan. Yes, sir.